You know what a Muslim does to a fly when it lands in your food and dies in there? You know, we know what the Prophet ﷺ told us to do? He said, dip the fly in your food, dip it. Another hadith, dip it 3 times to make sure that it's all dipped. And then throw the fly out and eat the rest of the food. And don't throw the food out because this is a blessing as well.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given us many medicine and treatment through his hadith, and during his time he showed us with his actions, which are known as sunnah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned many treatments, shifa, in the Quran. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said these things 1400 years ago, and only now the modern science is discovering them. Recently, modern science has discovered that the common fly carried parasitic pathogens for many diseases including malaria, typhoid, fever, cholera and others. It was also discovered that the fly carried parasitic bacteriophagic fungi capable of fighting the germs of all these diseases. Subhanallah. And let's listen the discoveries.
My student said to me, ugh, sir, what do you mean dip the fly and throw it? This is disgusting. I said, it's quite the opposite, this is a blessing. So what are you talking about dipping a fly? It's been in feces and stuff like that comes and you've got to dip it in your food. I said, yes, it's a blessing. And you don't know, but Allah knows. Guess what? The Prophet ﷺ said, obviously, because a wing carries the bacteria and it drops it, while another wing, or parts of its body, carry the antibiotic. A few months ago, I don't know if you know about this, because I research a lot about these areas. A professor or a researcher, a woman in America, has discovered something. She said, this is her research about the fly. She said, we were wondering one day, how can a fly live in all these different bacteria and land there and still survive after that? How come that if a human were to attract, for example, filth like feces or urine, we know that medically, if you don't wash your hands or if it's an unhygienic environment, you can develop hepatitis A, B, C, or C, or even D. And some of them can kill you. Yet a fly survives. How does it survive? So she thought, maybe it has an antibiotic that we can extract from it and put into the human blood so that we can also develop our immune system. So she went and they went and researched the fly. They discovered, my dear brothers and sisters, that the fly has an antibiotic within its body and outside on its skin, on the outside of its body. Wallahi, this is a research really there, it's factual. For anyone who wants it, email me, I'll send it to you inshallah. The most remarkable thing about it is, how do we extract it from the fly? You know what she said? The only way that we know, the easiest way and the most appropriate way, or the convenient way, is to dip it in liquid. And then, after we dip it in the liquid, we extract that liquid and we can probably inject it into the human blood and probably develop an immune system, just like a vaccine. Just like they extract the poison of a snake, such as in India and other places, and they inject it into the child and develops an immunity towards certain snakes, or certain venoms from different spiders and tarantulas. And if you would like to know, also, they take the urine of a horse as well for women with menopause, and they inject it in her as well. She doesn't know that, you see. But they do that, and it creates an antibiotic, and it's a good thing for her immune system as well.
So my brothers and sisters, follow the sunnah, act upon the sunnah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you shifa, will give you protection from many diseases. And Islam is a way of life. It has in it everything. May Allah give us the true understanding of Islam.